Kensington, and this man has been arrested, and I'm glad they found him. And he's been charged after a 2-year-old was found unresponsive in New Kensington apartment and taken to a local hospital where the child remains in pediatric intensive care unit. New Kensington police said that, let me go back so you can see his face. This idiot right here, his name is Keith Dale Lilly Jr. I'm going to spell it Keith Dale Dale, Lilly Lilly, or it's either Lily, one or the other. Jr., who's 31 years old. So that way, if you guys want to follow this case, you can find him a bit easier. Okay. Right here. It's spelled just like that. And he's been arrested on 2 counts of aggravated assault, one count of endangering the welfare of children, and 1 count of recklessly endangering another person. And his bond was set at $250,000, $250,000. Do y'all think it needs to be higher? Well, let me let you guys hear a little bit of details about this story. There's not a lot of stuff out there. Yes, why aren't we doing background checks whenever you're dating people, whenever you're in a relationship with people? You could even be in a relationship with somebody and I still think you need to do a background check. Find out who you're sleeping with. I don't understand how we could be so irresponsible. If our body is the temple, how can we be so irresponsible by just allowing anybody onto us or inside of us? I don't understand it. But sometimes looks can be deceiving. And all I'm going to say is this. Y'all know I'm a little bit of a jerk, but I'm going to say it. Look at this troll haircut having ass dude right here. Excuse my language. Keith Lilly literally looks like a chocolate troll. That's what we're going to call him. Hashtag the chocolate troll. That's what we're going to call this dude. He looks weird. And I'm just saying, if you run into a dude that looks like this, you better do a background check. I don't care if you're standing in an elevator with him or whether you want to get an apartment with him, whatever you want to do with this dude, get a background check on anybody who looks like that. I don't even know how, like it's not the 80s or 90s anymore. How do you have a haircut that looks like that? I don't understand. What barber lets you walk out his barbershop looking like that? Golly. Let me move on. Sorry. Police said that they were called to the 1100 block of 5th Avenue in New Kensington on March the 26th, so that was just not that long ago, around 1 a.m. for an unresponsive 2-year-old child. When EMS arrived, the child was taken to UPMC Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh for life-saving measures, and the child remains in PICU, which is pediatrics, of April the 15th, which was like basically less than 48 hours ago. According to the criminal complaint, Lilly, who was the child's stepfather, not the biological father, told police when they arrived at his home that the child is always falling off the couch and getting hurt. Let me say that again. According to his own words, he told police that the child is always falling off the couch and getting hurt. Does that not automatically raise concern for anybody out there? Y'all got to tell me what you think in the chat. Because to me, if you're trying to say that this child is always hurting themselves, oh yeah, he did it to himself, he did it to himself. For those of us who have been around long enough to know, and if you followed enough cases, then you know that is an automatic red flag. What is a red flag? We talk about red flags and yellow flags on our channel on the AFC, because what that means is that if you have a red flag, that is something that is of dire concern. A yellow flag is something that maybe you need to look into a little bit deeper. This is an automatic red flag. Automatic red flag. What do you mean the child is always hurting himself? He's only 3 years old. There's only so much hurting a child can do if a parent is properly paying attention to that child. Therefore, if you're being a proper parent, then it would be less likely that this child would get into any hurt, harm, or danger. That's part of what it means to be a damn parent. How about that? How about that? You got to hold parents accountable, right? But it's going to get deeper here because we're going to talk about a little bit about the mom. We're going to talk a little bit about this boyfriend and the family. So give me a moment. Lilly, That name, Lilly. They keep calling him this name because you know he's going to be somebody's Lilly in jail, right? But again, Keith Lilly told police that the child has fallen off the couch that night and he began to cry. So he gave the child Tylenol and put him to bed. Lilly said he woke up later to find the child unresponsive. How many of y'all think that's a lie? To me, that automatically doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't follow any logic. It would show that you have horrible parenting skills if the child is always hurting himself. I'm just saying. I think it's BS too. I agree. I see some of y'all are writing it. Now, the criminal complaint said that when the child was being transported to Children's Hospital, the ambulance saw that there was bruising all over the child's body in various stages of healing. Now, we've talked about that before. What does that mean? That means that this child had new injuries as well as old injuries. Another thing that is indicative of is that the mother had to have known about this. How are you not looking at your 3-year-old, 2-year-old child's body at all? Like, what parent doesn't? You have to change diapers on your kids. You have to give your kid a bath. Like, are you not looking? Do you not give a shit? Right? Oh, we're going to get there. We're going to get there, okay? Various stages of healing. The mother told the ambulance personnel that the child has not recently been sick and has no medical history. The staff at Children's Hospitals told the police that the child had life-threatening injuries and was put into the PICU, which is Pediatrics Intensive Care. Some of the injuries they reported, brace yourselves, guys. The injuries that they reported were a skull fracture with a brain bleed and swelling, numerous bruises, mouth injuries, and other fractures and bleeding. But he failed. But you know, it's funny how, you got to remember, we've talked about this before also on our channel. How many times have parents that are abusive to kids always blame it on the kids? You notice that? Let's keep going. Police said that the child's mother told them that she and Lilly and the child were watching TV that night of March 25th. She said that the child appeared to be normal while watching TV. The mother said that she went to bed around 10 p.m., leaving Keith Lilly, the boyfriend, and the child in the living room. That's a flag right there. She told police that later in the night or morning, she was woken up by the child screaming. She said Lilly told her not to worry about it, and she went back to bed without checking on the child in the living room. Whoa. Let's back it up. Hashtag where's the biological father? Let's back it up. Hashtag can we get a hashtag when you date thugs, you date death? I'm sure Justice for Michael Mimi in the chat wants to know, what does TTT and TTO stand for in the chat? Does anybody want to let her know what the hashtags mean in the chat? Anybody want to let her know what that means in the chat? Hashtag TTO, hashtag TTT, because it applies here. I'm going to read that again. The boyfriend told the mom after the child woke up screaming not to worry about it, and guess what the mom did? The mom went back to bed without checking on the child in the living room. If you ask me, and I know there's going to be people that are always going to say, well, no, the mom was the victim. The mom was the victim. What type of good parent? Let's just say it's not a mom or a dad. Just a parent in general. What type of parent is going to hear their child cry and scream, and somebody tells you, oh, it's okay, just going back to bed, and you just be like, all right, I'm going back to bed? If you ask me, that sounds like a horrible parent just on the surface without knowing any other details. And if both of them compare their stories and they're saying the same thing, then to me, that automatically means that the mom should be implicated. That means that she should be arrested just on that claim alone, because that means that you knew something and you didn't do anything about it. Let's move on. A short time later, she said that the boyfriend, Lilly, told her to call 911 because her baby boy was not breathing. Wow. When police interviewed the boyfriend, Keith Lilly, he told them he fell asleep on the couch and was woken up by the child screaming and noticed the child had fallen off the couch. He told police he put the child back on the couch and gave the child some Tylenol and water. A short time later, he saw that the child was not breathing. Medical assessments and examinations from Children's Hospital showed the injuries to the child were not, I repeat, were not consistent with the histories provided by that asshole right there on my screen and the child's mother, and are diagnostic for physical child abuse. Notice that they also added the mom in there. Not my words. Hashtag not my words. This is literally what they're going to try to use on them in court, okay? A child advocacy consult doctor said that the child had been a victim of physical abuse on more than one occasion, and the injuries caused substantial pain at the time they were inflicted and are life-threatening. Now, according to a criminal complaint, a doctor said that the child could have died from the injuries. It is unclear at this time if the child will survive. Let me bump up to a picture if you guys did not see this, and I'm going to let it pause for a brief moment. And I want you to just brace your hearts, brace your souls for what you're going to see. While you guys are here, please click the thumbs up. Please share the story of this little boy. And all you got to do to do that is just click the thumbs up, okay? This picture right here. God bless this baby's soul. And I really wish that we could pray for a miracle for this little boy. But I'm going to tell you guys that this little boy is probably not going to survive. This is one of those sad stories I wish I could report, and happy story for you guys and tell you guys he's going to be a trooper. He's going to hang in there. He's going to be okay. The doctors are going to work their magic. And I just hate the fact that that's probably not going to be the case in this story. If by some divine intervention, if I could give up one of my last breaths to just give this baby another chance at life, I would absolutely do it. But he's probably not going to make it, okay? No, that sucks to hear that. Police re-interviewed the boyfriend and the child's mother on March the 29th, and again confirmed that they were the only ones caring for the child since the child had returned from the grandfather's home on March the 20th. Doctors confirmed the child's injuries would have to occur within 3 to 4 days or sooner of the child being seen at the hospital. Did everybody catch that? The boyfriend, Lilly, is scheduled for a preliminary hearing in New Kensington on May the 7th. So that's coming up here. He's going to have a court date here on May the 7th, which is just a preliminary hearing. Anybody who has information about this case, or if you know about what led up to this. So for all the people that were on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that were posting screenshots of messages, things that were passed back and forth, I'm asking for you guys to not just post it on Facebook and hope that the police see it. Okay? Get in contact with Westmoreland County Detectives at 724-830-3949 or the New Kensington Police at 724-339-7533. Rewind it if you need those numbers. Don't just know, and if you saw something, if you know something, do not wait. Do not wait for the police to go find it. That's not their job. If we know something, we as a collective are supposed to help them do their job to get justice for this baby boy. Because he deserves justice at least. He deserved a chance in life. He deserved a good mother. He deserved a good father. He deserved good food. He deserved good shelter. He deserved good babysitters. He deserved the world. He deserved the opportunity to grow up in a healthy, protected environment so that way he could grow up to be something great. He was robbed of that opportunity by his biological mother putting her son around a thug. Hashtag, when you date thugs, you date death. Can we get everybody to hashtag that? And I want you to remember that. Now, I want you guys to also know why I call this man a thug. Because people are like, well, Jay, you don't know the real story about Keith Lilly. He wasn't a thug. He was a good man. He worked a good job, and he did a lot of good things for people. Well, I'm going to tell you something about this dude. With this troll haircut. With this, look like somebody just took a weed whacker and just, it just, right upside his head. How ridiculous is this haircut? So, here it is. This dude, Keith Lilly Jr., 31 years old, was on probation after pleading guilty in December to charges of aggravated assault. Oh, Just Jay. Did Just Jay bring his facts to the table tonight? Yep, I usually do. When I call somebody a criminal and a thug, I'm usually right. Like what, 99.9% of the time? He was on probation for aggravated assault, strangulation, and making terroristic threats in connection with a 2018 case filed by Arnold Police, court records show. Hashtag not my words. Let me give a shout out real quick. I'm sorry that I missed that. Let me give a shout out to Jamaica Cassadine. If you were in the chat, please shout yourself out. She's been doing an amazing job supporting us. Said hello AFC. That means the Advocates for Children. Shout out to Jamaica, sending a $25 super chat. Thank you to Set Zebra, who just hit us back up on the channel membership. Shout out to Set Zebra. That's why I always tell you guys it is important to do your background check. If people didn't think that it was necessary to do background checks on these freaking men that you date, because it might not be just black men. It could be all kinds of men. It could be African. It could be, Puerto Rican. It could be Asian. It could be white. It could be anything. If you're going to put a man around your kids, at least do due diligence to your kids and do a freaking background check. And I'm going to let you guys know something. Do y'all want to hear the video of this man's mom who came out and defended him and said, my son didn't do nothing to this little boy? Y'all want to hear that video? Because I have that video. And by the way, there's a GoFundMe. We'll talk about that GoFundMe here in a moment. She tried to come out and say that this man didn't do anything to this kid. Oh, y'all didn't know about that, did you? Oh, Justice for Michael said, he has a dead girlfriend unsolved in Florida and he left state right after. Jesus Christ. Woo-wee. Tell me that the mom did not drop the ball by not doing a background check. Lord have mercy. Wow. Let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage. Y'all want to hear the video? Let's go ahead and get it, guys. Click that thumbs up. Bring a few more people in. If y'all want to hear the story, let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. A lot of people love watching this channel because generally when I make an accusation against somebody, I'm usually right. So y'all know I bring the heat over here. That's my job, is to try to bring you guys the truth. So this is going to be about 6 minutes long. Let's kick back. Let's listen. Here we go.
In Westmoreland County, police say a baby is on life support after being beaten by the boyfriend of the child's mother. We warn you some of the details in this story are disturbing. Let's go live now to Ross Goodell.
Hey, Kenya, the circumstances around this child's injuries are nothing short of horrific. A suspect is in jail because of it, but unfortunately, based on what authorities are telling us, this little boy is not likely to survive. a collection of children's toys, and a sign asking for justice for a 2-year-old that, according to New Kensington police, was savagely beaten inside his mother's apartment.
He's loving, shows a lot of care. He's just a kid, just a 2-year-old little boy.
Chanel Felton tells us she knows the little boy well.
Mikel was my son's best friend.
Instead of playing with Felton's son, 2-year-old Mikel Fetterman is on life support at Pittsburgh's Children's Hospital, allegedly beaten by the child's mother's boyfriend, 31-year-old Keith Lilly Jr. Investigators say Lilly attacked the child earlier in the month, leaving the boy with a fractured skull, a brain bleed, significant bruising all over the body, injuries to his eyes and mouth, other fractures in the process of healing, and indications of sexual abuse.
Oh my goodness. Latanya, Keyshawn, Pamela, Charity said this is your hometown. Miss Shirley, did y'all hear this? Guys, I didn't even mention this part. I totally forgot. I forgot to tell you guys that he might have sexually abused this little boy. What that does is that just adds insult to injury. Everything that he did was already like literally worth putting this man in jail for life and potentially giving him the ultimate penalty under law. And then you throw sexual abuse on top of it. Lord have mercy. What did this baby boy do to deserve 3 years old? What did Mikel Fetterman deserve? A skull fracture, brain bleeding, significant bruising all over the body, injuries to eye and mouth, other fractures in the process of healing, and to get sexually abused on top of that. And the mom did not protect her son. But wait, guys, it gets worse. Yes, we're going to talk about that GoFundMe. Does PA have a death penalty? We'll find out. Google it real quick and let us know in the chat. So that way we can see what's up. Let's keep going.
That's sick. That's really sick.
Chanel Felton, however, says she and others in the apartment building noticed the injuries to the child and even contacted Westmoreland County's Children and Youth Services. But
I want y'all to notice what they just said. I'll rewind it for a second. The neighbor that y'all were listening to right there noticed something. She saw something and she said something. She reported it. Good for her. She saw something and said something. And all I'm telling you guys is that's all you can do. I'm not asking you to jump in and try to stop any situation because you don't want to put yourself at risk of harm and you don't want to put yourself at risk legally. If you see something, report it to the police who have the authority to do something about it. Listen at this again.
That's sick. That's really sick.
Chanel Felton, however, says she and others in the apartment building noticed the injuries to the child and even contacted Westmoreland County's Children and Youth Services. But according to Felton, no one came to investigate.
New bruises like the black eyes we've seen and all that, that's not acceptable.
The victim's mother, identified as Teresa Fetterman, declined comment. Meanwhile, Chanel Felton's thoughts are with a little boy investigators say is not likely to survive.
I tear up literally all day. That's all I think about. When I don't have nothing else on my mind, that's what runs through my head. And I try to steer my mind other directions, but it's so hard.
Wow.
All right, regarding CYS in Westmoreland County, I contacted them to find out if they were in fact investigating this particular situation, waiting to hear back from them. Keith Lilly, right now in the Westmoreland County Jail, is being held on $250,000 bond. He faces multiple felonies. His mother contacted me and said that her son would never do something like that, and the allegations are preposterous. Police, meanwhile, in New Kensington...
Oh, my God. Did y'all hear that? Yep, CPS did nothing. Listen again. Oh, my God. This can't be life. Okay, let me rewind and let y'all hear. Keith Lilly's mom, this 31-year-old grown-ass man's mama, decided that she did not want, let me see, please read my comment. This is my son's brother laying in the hospital. Okay, I missed that. I can take a moment. If we have family members in here, I could do that. Give me a second here. That is from Mercedes. Let me see. Who was that? Mercedes. Okay. Let me scroll back. Sorry if I missed your comment. Let me see. This is my hometown, my son's brother, and he did. Not might, did. Oh my. Okay, I'm going to read Mercedes' comment. Mercedes said, this is my hometown, my son's brother, and he did it. Not might, did. Wow. Mercedes, thank you. I'm glad that's why we have the live chat open. That is incredibly sad. Wow. Guys, there's so much to keep up with these stories. And this is actually during the virus period. Like, you would think that families during this pandemic would actually come together. They'd be a lot more loving towards each other. They might appreciate each other a little bit more because we don't really know what life is going to be like going forward. And here we are. This is the type of thing that we're doing. Yeah, he only got $250,000 bond. Yes. Keith Lilly Jr., who is 31 years old, his mama called the news because she didn't want her baby boy didn't do nothing. He ain't do nothing. He ain't guilty of nothing. This, ooh-wee. Don't let me find out who she is. Don't let me find an interview from her. She called into the news and said that my baby boy didn't do nothing. He's not guilty of any of this. Listen again. Listen at this.
All right, regarding CYS in Westmoreland County, I contacted them to find out if they were in fact investigating this particular situation, waiting to hear back from them. Keith Lilly, right now in the Westmoreland County Jail, is being held on $250,000 bond. He
Listen again.
faces multiple felonies. His mother contacted me and said that her son would never do something like that, and the allegations are preposterous. Police, meanwhile, in New Kensington have not ruled out additional charges, and they're not also ruling out
Y'all hear that? Let me let you hear it again.
Westmoreland County Jail is being held on $250,000 bond. He faces multiple felonies. His mother contacted me and said that her son would never do something like that, and the allegations are preposterous.
The allegations are preposterous. So, okay, first and foremost, let's break this down. Can we break this down for a moment? This grown-ass man who's 31 years old still has his mama. Oh my God, it's so sad that the black community knows this story all too well about how black men are so attached to their mama because they didn't have no daddy in their life. And they treat their mamas like their girlfriends. It's like some incest type stuff. And that's why and y'all wonder why black men don't know how to be real men? This is why. 31 years old and she's still making excuses for him when you can't. You want to know why, Mom? Keith Lilly Jr.'s mama? You want to know why Lilly did this? Because him and the biological mother admitted that they were the only ones around this kid during that time. They admitted it. So how else do you explain it? What, did the boogeyman do it? Did the Loch Ness monster break into the house and do it? Did Almighty Lord Jesus God come down and smite down this little 3-year-old little boy? Like, you have to come up with some logical explanation. But don't just come and just tell me, I know my son, he didn't do it. Like, I hate that as an excuse. We bring zero evidence to the table. This is why we as the black community continue to lose. We talk the most shit and bring nothing to the table. That's in general. And I don't mean to disparage, and I hope everybody understands where I'm coming from. We have people in the chat watching from England. We have people watching from a lot of different places around the world. And I want people to understand that what we are here to do as the AFC is we're going to separate ourselves and our respective communities from the trash of our communities. we do not associate with trash. People like Keith Lilly Jr. and the biological mother are not citizens. They are not human to do this to a child who cannot speak for himself and cannot defend himself against the tyranny of his caretaker. As a matter of fact, the grandmother or Keith Lilly Jr.'s mama needs to sit her black ass down somewhere and shut up. That's just stupid.
Keith Lilly, right now in the Westmoreland County Jail, is being held on $250,000 bond. He faces multiple felonies. His mother contacted me and said that her son would never do something like that, and the allegations are preposterous. Police, meanwhile, in New Kensington have not ruled out additional charges, and they're not also ruling out additional arrests. Reporting live, Ross Godotti, KDKA News.
And brings no facts to the table. Here's the next video.
All new at 5 o'clock, a New Kensington man is now facing charges in the brutal beating of his stepchild after telling police the child simply fell off the couch. This is the man, Keith Lilly. Police say medics found the child on the floor of an apartment back on March 26th. Staff at Children's Hospital found bruising, a serious skull fracture, and bleeding in the brain. The child was put on life support and remains alive in the hospital tonight.
We turn to a heartbreaking story. A 3-year-old boy severely beaten. Channel 11's Melanie Gillespie has an update on the investigation and the impact on that boy's neighborhood.
There was a growing makeshift memorial outside of Mikel's home. You can see it here. People have been adding to it all day. The man accused of beating him so severely, putting him in the intensive care unit, is in jail tonight, and neighbors say they just want to see justice served. Balloons and teddy bears surround the playground where little Mikel Fetterman used to play before he was taken to Children's Hospital in very serious condition.
He was just quiet for real. He was a sweetheart. He was very loving. Like, he would come in the house, sit on my lap, and he likes to be held, really. He just one of those little kids that like to be around people.
And just to let you guys know, this is one of the neighbors that when she saw something that didn't look right, she actually, I think, and other people also participating and calling CPS. And she did a good job, and salute. That's what we want to encourage, is if you see something wrong, just speak up and say something. Let's keep going.
Like, he likes to be held, really. He just one of those little kids that like to be around people.
Keith Lilly is accused of beating the now 3-year-old boy so badly, police don't know if he'll survive. We're told Mikel just turned 3 on Easter Sunday. Lilly is the mother's boyfriend who lives with her at their Valley Royal Court apartment in New Kensington.
These people literally live every day like they have the perfect relationship. Like, Mikel's like their priority, their main thing in life. Like, I would have never ever thought that this would be happening.
Mikel remains in the hospital tonight fighting for his life. Doctors told police he's covered in bruises, has a skull fracture and a brain bleed, and fractures all over in various stages of healing.
We have kids, and it's just not right. No grown man or grown adult, period, should be beating on a 2-year-old baby.
Police say the mother said she was sleeping.
Bingo. Exactly what she said. This is why I've been preaching for the longest time that I want people to stop spanking children. If you don't have the wherewithal, the smarts or intelligence to teach a child without being physical with that child, then I'm sorry. You need some parenting lessons. You're not a suitable parent if you have to beat a child up just to get that child to do what it is that you want them to do. How long have I been talking about that? Long time.
Hey, no grown man or grown adult, period, should be beating on a 2-year-old baby.
And you know what? She's right. And people have been doing this for as long as we can remember. But just because some of us might have gone through it does not make it right. Just because you survived it doesn't mean that everybody else should be put through what you went through. It's not right.
Police say the mother said she was sleeping and the boy was left in the care of Lilly the night 911 was called. Lilly allegedly told officers the child fell off the couch. He gave him Tylenol and then found him not breathing before calling 911.
Kids look at us like we're superheroes, and that's what we're supposed to try to be for them, and she failed him.
Mikel's family said they didn't want to comment, but said he was pulled off the ventilator. But doctors say this wasn't the first time he was abused. They told investigators there are new injuries and old injuries of not only physical trauma.
Oh no. Thank you, RH, sent in a $2 super chat, said thanks. And I thank you for clicking that $2 super sticker. Oh, my goodness. I don't know if y'all heard that. I'm going to rewind it. I think we might have just heard some real bad news. Said, please do not give up on this story. My son's brother's story needs to be heard. He needs justice. I didn't even know my son had a brother. They also have him a sister. Mercedes Keller, thank you so much. And let me also remind you, once this video is over, once the live stream ends, any information that you or Justice for Michael, Mimi, want to post in the comment section, post it in there, and I'll make sure and pin you guys' comments so more people can see what it is that you guys want to add to the story. So that's what our comment section is for. So I will sift through there and make sure that your comments can be seen, okay? Let's hear this again.
Calling 911.
Kids look at us like we're superheroes, and that's what we're supposed to try to be for them. And she failed him.
Mikel's family said they didn't want to comment, but said he was pulled off the ventilator.
They just said that he was pulled off the ventilator. Jeez, man. Wow.
For them, and she failed him.
Mikel's family said they didn't want to comment, but said he was pulled off the ventilator. But doctors say this wasn't the first time he was abused. They told investigators there are new injuries and old injuries.
From what I understand, based on the news articles that I read, and also based on what, make sure and follow the page Justice for Michael on Facebook also for more information. Justice for Michael, Mimi said in the chat, she lied. He is still on life support. And I hope that that's the truth. And I hope that he can survive this. I really do. I'm praying for this baby boy. And I hope he survives this.
Not only physical trauma, but suspicion of sexual abuse. Doctors said the child's injuries caused substantial pain at the time they were inflicted and are life-threatening. Neighbors told Channel 11 they noticed something was wrong just days.
Okay, let me pause it one more time. I know this is live right now, and I'm sorry to pause the video, but we had a channel member who said the charges have been upgraded to murder. Anybody who, now I don't know how true that is. Justice for Michael, Mimi and T, but let me know. I think both of y'all should be able to post links in the chat if one or the other has more information. Let us know. But if the charges have been upgraded to murder, then that actually would mean that the worst probably did happen. I don't know. I don't know. So one of you guys might have to tell me. I'm not sure. TT, thank you for your $2 super chat. Thank you, TT. I don't know. Read your comments, Brother Justice. Let me see. I can do this while we're live. If you guys leave a comment, I can read it. Let me go back. Oh, you said Justice. Is there somebody in the chat named Brother Justice? Let me see. Or were you calling me brother? Let me see. Justice. Oh, you're saying justice for... Sorry. Justice for Michael. Sorry, I got it. My bad. I got it. Sorry about that. I got it. Okay. He was not pulled off a ventilator. I spoke to a detective tonight who messaged me because we thought he was off the ventilator and we posted that, but he corrected me and said that the baby boy is still on a ventilator. He is currently still alive. Currently, the family has lied about this a few times now. So there you go. Got it. So everybody caught that. So we were able to at least put that information out there. Okay, now we're going to have to talk about that GoFundMe. Let me finish this video. Kim D, you got it. We're going to talk about that GoFundMe.
Days before this happened and tried to intervene.
A week before this happened, we seen that he had the 2 black eyes. And then that's when my sister had called the CYS and nothing was done.
Wow. So Child Protective Services didn't do anything. They saw the 2 black eyes and they called. So you heard what she said.
just days before this happened and tried to intervene.
A week before this happened, we seen that he had the 2 black eyes. And then that's when my sister had called the CYS and nothing was done.
To that lady and to any of you guys who have to call the National Child Abuse Hotline or anything like that, if you do it and they don't do their job, then you have done your job. Then at that point, then we have to now start either putting class action lawsuits against CPS, DPS, or whoever it is, and holding those people accountable at that point. Either they need to be fired or prosecuted, but they definitely can't continue to keep just having their jobs and failing these babies. So you've done your job. So don't feel bad about that. You guys have done a great job. If you know something, you speak, you say something.
Kensington police tell us CYS is involved now and running its own investigation parallel to theirs. But neighbors are hoping there's some justice for Mikel at the end of the day and for Lilly. And the family says there is a GoFundMe account to offset some of those expenses. You can find that on our website, WPXI.com. Reporting in New Kensington, I'm Melanie Gillespie for Channel 11 News.
And again, if you guys would, do me a favor and click that thumbs up. We got 250 people watching. If we can get 100 more people just to click the thumbs up, it'll help share this story, okay? So believe it or not, that actually helps a lot. We got 161, so I'm asking that more people come in and click that thumbs up. So I'm watching the number as it goes up. So let me talk about this real quick while I shout out a couple people, if you do not mind. April, who sent us a PayPal. Thank you to April N. Thank you also to, let me make sure I can say your name, to Kimberly B. I did get yours in PayPal, so thank you, Kimberly B. Thank you, Keyshawn Johnson in the chat. Thank you also to Parker Lynn and others. Let's talk about this GoFundMe. Let me get it up on the screen. Now, for Mimi, can you let me know if this GoFundMe is legitimate or not? Let me know what your thoughts are on this GoFundMe, because I'm gonna show what it is, and then we could figure out whether this is a legitimate GoFundMe or not. Because I thought it actually was, but I'm not sure. But here's the GoFundMe, and it says raising funds for grandson's hospital expenses. It says that the organizer is Mikel Martin Fetterman, who is the grandfather. Now, I'm not sure whether this is legitimate or not. Like I say, if you guys know, let me know. I'm not sure. Let's report the GoFundMe. So are you saying that this is a fraudulent GoFundMe? Westmoreland and Allegheny County Child Protective Services is a joke. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I am familiar with Allegheny Child Services, and we've done stories on them before, and they're not very helpful at all. They keep saying he passed away so they can collect money from the GoFundMe. Here's where I might get in trouble with some people. I'm gonna be real honest, okay? So for family and friends, just hear me out. Don't get mad at me. This is why I believe it is so vital for people to be responsible parents. And the mother, let me get the mom's name. The mom's name is Teresa Fetterman. Teresa Fetterman should have been responsible enough as a mother to have life insurance on her kid. To me, that lets me know that she is not a good parent off top. Because one thing that you know, that when you live, what's going to happen? Inevitably, you will die. As sure as you're born, you will die. I'm sorry they haven't made anybody who is immortal yet. Maybe we might come to that point at some point in time. But as of right now, people live, people die, and you know that you will eventually need life insurance. So if she had life insurance, this would not be necessary. We would not be going through this charade right now of, yes, he's dead, no, he's not dead. Like that, to me, that sucks. That's disrespectful to a child that is still alive right now. This boy is still alive, And out of 10,000 damn dollars, they've collected already 4,135. Let me read to y'all what this says, so you'll know that I'm not making this up. On the screen, it says, my grandson is in Children's Hospital on life support and with no punctuation. He has a traumatic brain and bodily injuries, and he spelled that wrong, and we need help for hospital costs and his rehabilitation and medical expenses. He is in. Okay. Sorry to be the grammar police, but HE'(S) already means he is. You don't have to put is after that. So maybe grandpa didn't know any better. Maybe he didn't pay attention to school like a lot of people don't. But my mom was a teacher. I'm sorry, but that bothers me. He's in critical condition, but stable, but not out of the woods yet. Thank you for your support. And thank you for your help, and thanks for your prayers. You asked for $10,000 and you wrote that shitty ass message. I've told you guys, if you're going to put up a GoFundMe, if you're going to ask for $10,000 or anything over $5,000, in my opinion, you should pay somebody $100 to write out a statement for you. That looks dumb. It looks uneducated. And to me, I can't respect anybody who's going to ask for $10,000 that can't even write their explanation properly. Am I being an asshole? Maybe I am. Justice for Michael Mimi is saying that the GoFundMe is a fraud. I am telling everybody, stop. Whoever is donating, stop. Somebody just donated 2 hours ago. $50. Stop. This child is alive. They don't need money for medical expenses because they don't know what they're going to need. Okay? Let me explain to you guys. Let me break this down and show you guys how this thing works with medical expenses, because I hate having this argument with people. And y'all can let me know if I'm right or wrong about this before we wrap up, because I got to get this off my heart right now. You don't get a final bill until you leave the hospital. Therefore, if you're still in the hospital, why are you already asking for money when you don't know how much you're going to actually need? To me, that's irresponsible. To me, it's irresponsible to not know what you're going to need before you start asking for money. It's just like going to a bank for a business loan and you say, well, I need $100,000 for a business loan. Well, what kind of business are you going to create? Well, I'm really not sure what kind of business I'm going to create, but I know I'm going to make something real great. Well, how are you planning to pay us back? Well, I haven't really thought about that yet, but I am going to come up with a great plan to pay you back. Okay, well, you can't just ask for inordinate amounts of money and not know what you need that money for specifically. And then you wrote this like you're freaking 7 years old with no punctuation. I'm sorry, Michael Martin Fetterman is an idiot. You want to get mad at me? You want to kick my ass? I'm just being honest. If y'all want to report the page, this is what it looks like. It's real easy to find it. But to me, I'm telling you, it sounds fraudulent to me. You don't know what you need the money for, and you're just asking for $10,000 because you're doing what? You're plucking on the heartstrings of people who feel bad for these kids. That means that it's going to be harder when people actually need help and deserve help, and they can't get it because people like this take advantage of a system that's there and share the story, and somebody feels sad and they just start throwing money into it. They don't even ask questions. They don't even wait to see what's going to happen. Give this baby boy the respect. Michael Fetterman, age 3 years old, is alive. Give this baby boy respect. That he is going to be strong and that he is going to survive. He is young. He is frail. But to me, he deserves a chance. And for these assholes to already be asking for money before this child actually even know the final prognosis of this child, to me, is absolutely insulting. It's disrespectful and it's tasteless. And that, to me, has to stop. To everybody out there who listens to the sound of my voice, stop donating to GoFundMes when you don't have all the information. Make these people get life insurance. How about that? How about that? Let's wrap this story up. This baby boy was beaten up multiple times in the care of the biological mother and the boyfriend. Keith Lilly Jr., 31 years old, was brought into the home by Teresa Fetterman, who was the biological mother, and she allowed this thug who was on probation to be around her kid. It is her fault for bringing this dude around her kid that apparently she acted like she didn't know that this dude was a violent asshole. Don't he look like with a Super Saiyan haircut? Come on, this nigga look like he's about to just light up and just kick something and just knock some mountains down at any point in time with this Super Saiyan haircut on this fool. She brought this man into her house, let this man be around the kid, but you know what's even more messed up? Is the fact that I bet you the biological father wanted to be around his son and she prevented him from being able to be around his son. But you'll let this thug be around your kid and give him all kinds of access. Your kid is in there crying and screaming and he say, oh, it's okay. Go on back to bed. He all right, girl. He all right. And you're just like, okay, I go back to bed. What kind of a mother does that? Common sense. Common sense says that is a bad parent. That mother does not need to ever have any more children. She does not deserve the privilege of being a mother and having ovaries. Therefore, they should take her ovaries away from her. This man, they should take his testicles away from him. Hashtag TTO, hashtag TTT. And I mean that. I hope they get justice for this baby boy. I want to give a shout out. Finally, we have video evidence of somebody who saw something and said something. And I respect this woman for doing the very bare minimum and speaking up for a child that cannot speak for himself, cannot defend himself, and he deserves every right and responsibility. Every right, and he deserved to be protected. Mikel Fetterman did nothing to deserve what he got. I hope that he survives this. We're going to pray in the chat. We're going to pray in the comment section. We're going to send prayers to those doctors and just put healing in their hands, in his body. And I would hope that he survives this. The prognosis is not good right now, but I hope that we get an update and something dramatic changes. To me, and I'm going to tell you guys something for the people that are still listening before we wrap up. If you have ever heard me talk about anything about these parents who abuse children and then blame it on the kids and say that they fail, I want you guys to go look at one of my bigger videos on my channel. It's called The Story of 5-Year-Old Samantha Bell. You can even post in the comment section and let me know if you watched that story, if you've already seen it, out of Houston, Texas. The Story of 5-Year-Old Samantha Bell on my channel. Sitting at 263,000 views. That means a lot of people have seen it. A lot of people have heard my words. But that mother beat the hell out of her little child, her little girl, and blamed it on the little girl. This type of thing happens all too often. And the only way it's going to stop is when you start making an example out of idiots like this and start holding these mothers who put their children around these thugs accountable. Everybody needs to be held accountable. And everybody needs to stop just randomly throwing money into GoFundMe's. I'm sorry, if y'all want to just go piss away $10,000, y'all could actually support the AFC. If you want to just throw away $10,000, then you could actually support something that speaks out for these babies and puts it all on the line in order to get things to change. We're going to get laws instituted. We're going to get people to care. We're going to continue to spread awareness. We're going to continue to put our life and our health on the line for these babies, because to me, I think it's worth it. I've always loved kids. I've always been an advocate for kids. I've always been a counselor for kids. And I'm going to always continue to stand my ground, not only for my babies, but for your babies and for these babies who cannot speak for themselves and cannot defend themselves against the tyranny of their parents and caretakers. Okay? Matter of fact, before I close this out, let's talk about that screenshot. I'm going to just show you real quick, and then I'm going to wrap up. But to everybody listening right now, thank you guys for coming through. Let me talk about this. I took a screenshot. It says, sorry, I have removed the GoFundMe page for Mikel Fetterman. It has came to my attention the funds were going to be used for mom and stepdad Keith's lawyer fees, not funeral expenses. This is so sad. Rest easy, little one, Michael. Even that's wrong because of the fact that this little boy is not passed away. So apparently there were multiple GoFundMes out there. Guys, be careful what you donate to. At least for me, you know I'm going to be here. I'm going to be right here, and I'm going to continue to keep doing what I do. I'm going to continue to protect myself. I always encourage you guys to make sure, be responsible, get up on your Second Amendment rights. If you guys do not own weapons, then you absolutely should. Make sure you guys get trained, be proficient, and make sure that you are able to protect your family. Okay? And protect yourselves. From my heart to yours, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for being open-minded and having an open heart to hear what the AFC has to stand. We are the advocates for children. We want to allow people the opportunity to advocate for our babies. Let's pray for this young man, and let's hope that he pulls through, okay? From my heart to yours, y'all have a great night, and I love you. And we'll see you guys on the next stream, okay? Peace.